Coming up on KUJH News, how students navigate the limited food options at KU dining halls, and remembering the man who called some of the biggest moments in KU sports history. Plus, therapy with four-legged friends, how CAPS is helping students de-stress. Live from the studio in Stauffer Flint, this is KUJH News. Good morning and welcome to KUJH News. I'm Jonah Kahn.
And I'm Caleb Beasley. The University of Kansas continues to mourn the tragic loss of Andrew John, or AJ, McDonald, a 20-year-old junior who passed away on March 18th following a skiing accident in Winter Park, Colorado. AJ was a devoted friend, a cherished son, and an inspiration to those who had the privilege to know him. He will be deeply missed. In light of this loss, students seeking support during this difficult time are encouraged to reach out to the University of Kansas Counseling and Psychological Services, or CAPS. For more information, visit their website, caps.ku.edu. Andrew's passing is a profound loss, and he will never be forgotten.
Now we turn to Sydney Clark, who has the latest on the search for a missing Lawrence resident. Sydney?
Lawrence police still need your help finding a missing Lawrence resident. 74-year-old Wanda Dyer was last seen leaving her home near 5th and California Street last Friday at 8 a.m. On Tuesday, LPD expanded its search, issuing a silver alert for Dyer.
In this case, what we initially looked at is we've had reports of Wanda going missing before, but she's turned up relatively quickly in the past. And so what's giving us a little bit of cause for concern is that in this case is that she's been gone for multiple days at this point.
In efforts to gather more community and media attention on Dyer's case, the LPD issued a silver alert, which is issued for someone over the age of 65 and has cognitive disabilities.
In this particular circumstance, we know that this person has some cognitive disabilities, and so we know that she's at risk. And based on the amount of time that she's been gone and that she hasn't had contact with her family, that does give us cause for concern.
The LPD wants community members to keep one thing in mind, though, during this search.
But the thing we want people to keep in mind is she's not a dangerous person. This isn't like we're tracking a homicide suspect or something like that. If you think you see her, just talk to her. Hey, are you Wanda? And if it is her, then great. Hang out with her, call 911, let us know.
The department has checked all the locations that she frequents, but at this point has exhausted all those options, leading them to need your help to bring Dyer home.
So what we need people in the community to do is just keep their eyes open. Be aware of her description. Take a look at the picture that we've shared. We've shared that picture with a lot of people in the community, whether that be bus drivers or employees at the businesses that she frequents, or people that are just generally out and about. We're talking to as many people as we can.
If you have any information on Wanda Dyer's whereabouts, you are urged to contact the Lawrence Police Department immediately.
The Kansas legislature passed a constitutional amendment revising how state Supreme Court justices are appointed. Instead of being chosen by the governor, judges will now run against each other in elections.
The amendment is now set to go into the ballot box in August, where voters will decide the future of the highest court in the state. KUJH Donovan Bullens explains how this could affect everyday Kansans.
Currently, justices are chosen from a list of approved judges given to the governor by a panel of attorneys. The governor can then appoint a new justice from this list. The amendment proposed would get rid of Kansas's current appointment process in place of popular elections, where judges will run against one another for a seat. Many representatives have stressed concerns about its potential impact.
I think that making an election is just way more toxic. I mean, I think we know money is really, really damaging in politics. If they were to change it to where the governor appoints and the Senate confirms, that's one conversation. I'm more open to that, even though I do think like our current process, but just going straight to partisan elections would be just a ton of money. I mean, people already hate political ads, they already hate divisiveness, and to do this at the judicial level is just a really broadening of kind of our current political discourse.
However, proponents of the amendment say the risk of corruption is no greater than our current process and will create more representation in the judicial system.
This is really fundamentally about having a government that's more representative of its people, and to not carve the judiciary out as some sort of special case where the people all of a sudden have little to no say.
While the amendment passed both the House and the Senate, it's not without its controversy, featuring several Republican dissenters. The adoption of the amendment will be decided in the August ballot. Reporting for KUJH, I'm Donovan Bowens.
Donovan, thank you. If you would like to register to vote for the election in August, you can visit vote.gov.
Looking outside here, the sky seems to be getting a little dark. Sam, how's it looking out there?
Well, Caleb, there were some storms approaching our area about an hour ago. They were fairly strong out by Emporia, down by I-335, but those since just split up. Some went to the south, one went to the north and died off. Left us with just some sprinkles here in Lawrence, not much at all. The regions down by Eureka out to Fort Scott up to Emporia are seeing some showers at the moment, as well as portions of northern Missouri off north of I-70. Now, taking a look outside right now here on campus, the sun has come back out, and this will really ramp up temperatures as we go into the afternoon. I expect to see highs in the low 80s, maybe around 83 this afternoon. It'll probably be the warmest of the year, and it's likely to set a new record for this day here in Lawrence. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll talk about maybe a second round of storms this afternoon, more rain chances for this weekend, and I'll give you the breakdown on the Royals and other KU sports forecasts. Take a look at our almanac. We'll be right back.
KU sports aren't the only teams known for their wins. KU Debate is preparing for their national championship, giving KU a beacon of hope after the men's basketball team's devastating loss in the Big 12. KU Debate has qualified 3 teams for the national debate tournament in early April. KUJH's Taylor Doyle and Caleb Beasley spoke with the team to see how they're preparing for the biggest tournament of the debate season.
The University of Kansas is known nationally for its debate program.
KU Debate has qualified 57 out of 78 national debate tournaments.
And for 6 of those years, KU won, just like its basketball team.
With a short time until the NDT, practice is key.
Practice for the NDT is intense.
Manufacturing electrification drive. The unfolding international age of dams highlights the importance of U.S. reforms of some hydropower now.
KU Debate will be competing in the national tournament in Washington State on April 4th. For KUJH News, we are Taylor Doyle and Caleb Beasley.
Taylor and Caleb, thank you. And of course, we wish the best of luck to KU Debate as they compete in this national debate tournament.
One thing I did not realize about pre-med is that getting into med school takes a lot more than good grades. It takes discipline and a whole lot of preparation. KUJH's Grace Johnson shows us how some of KU students are spending time as much as 8 hours studying for the MCAT.
The path to med school starts long before a white coat. For KU pre-med students, prepping for the MCAT is a test in itself. The exam lasts over 7 hours, a mental marathon that takes months to train for, and that prep happens on top of everything else.
You have to schedule things weeks, maybe 2 weeks ahead of time. You have to look at your assignments and know what you have to get done. And generally, it's just knowing you have to be on top of things, on top of getting your studying done in an effective manner.
Finding a balance between working and my academic life, as well as preparing for medical school applications, has been really, really challenging for me.
Students also need to gain experience beyond the classroom.
I worked with a plastic surgeon over in Liberal, Kansas, and I worked there with my dad as well. That was a great experience overall.
I currently volunteer at the JDoc Free Clinic in northern Kansas City through KU Med. It's a completely free student volunteer-run clinic. Just getting more experience with face-to-face patient interaction, really getting my foot in the door in terms of, learning the ins and outs of healthcare.
While experience builds confidence, studying for the exam requires time and often money.
Thanks, Grace. It's safe to say that a lot more goes into it than people realize. Respect to anyone juggling that kind of workload while preparing for a 7-hour exam.
Now, the weather has been pretty spotty these past weeks, from random snow to strong winds and great days like yesterday. Now, what can we expect next?
With April approaching, will showers be heading our way? Sam, how's it looking out there?
I'll say showers are definitely heading our way through this weekend and probably in sort of next week as well. Taking a look at our surface map right now, it is a warm front associated with a low pressure system down in southern Nebraska that brought us these showers earlier this morning. But what I have my eye on is this little dashed line there that is a dry line that'll make its way slowly into central Kansas later on today. But the problem with that is that, well, the dry line, it does initiate storms along its leading edge, but I don't think it'll make it all the way over to us by this afternoon to give us more storms. The Storm Prediction Center does have us in a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk, with a slight risk further up to our north. But however, I just don't think we're going to have the forcing to get the storms this afternoon that is required in order to get that lift to develop. Going through the afternoon, around 2 p.m. it'll be 76 degrees, 4 p.m. 81 up in those low 80s, 6 p.m. 82, and the strong winds are going to be a factor throughout the day, gusting probably upwards of 30 miles an hour throughout. And there is, again, that small chance of storms around the afternoon and early evening hours. But again, I don't think we're going to get the lift necessary in order to get those storms to develop. But don't be surprised if 1 or 2 rogue showers or storms do pop up as we head into that afternoon and in the evening time frame. Overnight tonight, we'll have a low around 59, won't drop off that much at all, with those strong south winds, 15-20 miles an hour, gusting up to 35, so that may keep you up at night if you have one of those south-facing windows. Looking at the next 3 days, tomorrow will be dry, 77 degrees, again windy, plenty of sunshine. Saturday, there is a chance for a couple PM storms, but again, the main problem will be if we can get enough forcing to get those to develop. Have to keep an eye on how those trends continue. There'll be a few clouds there on Saturday as well. Then Sunday, the wind will still remain a factor. Gusts not as high, maybe up to 25, but there will be that strong cool down 22 degrees from Saturday to a high of 54 there on Sunday afternoon. Now again, for Saturday, there is a chance for some severe weather if the storms have enough forcing to develop. But again, have to keep an eye on that because it's very uncertain for the time being. Taking a look at what the radar might look like from Saturday into Sunday. This starts at Saturday at noon, maybe a couple little showers developing down to our south. Then comes Sunday mornings when they really start to fill in into our area here in Lawrence. If we're going to get a couple rumbles of thunder, best chances for that would be Sunday early morning into the late morning, early afternoon period on that day. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, again, 83 degrees for a high today, going to set a new record high temperature for this day here in Lawrence. Then it'll stay in the 70s for tomorrow and Saturday before it drops back down in temperature. Sunday 54, Monday 53, with a couple of rain chances returning for the mid portions of next week for Tuesday and Wednesday. Jonah?
Sam, thank you. We, of course, are hoping for some clearer skies ahead.
Navigating dietary restrictions on a college campus isn't always easy, and students say cross-contamination and repeated meal options are a big problem at KU's dining halls. KUJH's Lexi Urban explores how students are managing their meals and changing dining plans next fall.
For KU students with dietary restrictions, finding safe and satisfying meals on campus isn't always easy. Some say cross-contamination is a major issue, making it difficult to trust the options available. Even when safe options are available, students say variety is lacking.
They don't switch up their meals at all, and they just rotate the same foods throughout the week. So especially with someone like me who is gluten-free, I hope they bring more menus that can be better fit for students like me, as well as people who may be vegetarian.
With few reliable choices, many students turn to off-campus options, spending extra money on groceries to supplement their diets. KU Dining Director Lindsay Robinson says efforts are being made to improve allergen-friendly options.
So I think our biggest challenge has just been vendors, but we've really been working around it. We hired a procurement manager just last year, and she's really worked with our vendors and brought in new product. So that's kind of our focus going into next year.
With meal plans changing next fall to a set number of meals per week instead of the current declining balance system, some students wonder if this will bring better accommodations or more limitations. For now, students with dietary restrictions continue to navigate limited choices, hoping for a dining experience that truly meets their needs. For KUJH News, I'm Lexi Urban.
As KU Dining continues to make changes, students are watching closely to see if there are more food options that will soon be available. Stay tuned as updates for meal plans change for the fall. Coming up, opening day at Royals at Kauffman Stadium, a way to relieve some stress with some four-legged friends.
National champions deserve a clean campus. Don't wait for other Jayhawks to pick up your mess. Keep the University of Kansas clean.
Today on KUJH Sports, we check in with Lauren Ritchie outside of Kauffman Stadium for a look live and a quick catch-up on all of our KU sports. I'm Lily Schutzenhofer. KUJH reporter Lauren Ritchie was at Kauffman Stadium this morning getting ready for the Kansas City Royals home opener. Let's head out there and see what's going on.
The Kansas City Royals are set to open up their season right here at Kauffman Stadium against the Cleveland Guardians later today. The fans are cycling in and will continue to until first pitch at 3:10 p.m. The Royals will start left-handed pitcher Cole Reagans, who also made his first All-Star appearance last year and was then rewarded with a 3-year contract extension. Shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. is an early favorite to take home the American League MVP honors. Witt finished second in the voting last year behind Yankees' Aaron Judge. For anyone coming out to the game, the team also announced new ballpark food that will be served this afternoon to go along with the beautiful sunny weather. Sam will have more on the projected temperature come first pitch. For KUJH Sports, I'm Lauren Ritchie.
Thanks, Lauren. I can't believe baseball season is already upon us. Kansas had multiple standout track athletes at the Indoor Nationals, and Caden Lecce breaks down the results.
Kansas track and field had 4 individual athletes travel to Virginia Beach to compete in the 2025 NCAA Indoor Championships. The qualifying athletes competed in the men's and women's pole vault and also the men's heptathlon. In the women's pole vault, Kansas saw 2 athletes finish in the top 11 spots. Mason Minershagen had the best individual finish for KU with a vault of 4 meters 50 while finishing in 4th place. This was enough to get her on the podium, while Amanda Mole of Washington would go on to win. Erica Ellis finished tied for 11th for KU with her vault of 4 meters 25. On the men's side, Alexander Jung would go on to place 9th in the heptathlon with his total of 5,752 points. Out of the 7 events he competed in, he placed 3rd in shot put and the 1,000 meter, and even an 8th place finish in pole vault. 3 of the 4 KU athletes received All-American votes, with Minershagen on first team and Ellis and Jung on second team. KU's track and field athletes are on the road right now, with some at the ESU relays, while others are at the Battle on the Bayou in Louisiana.
Thanks, Caden. Kansas will spend the next couple of weeks on the road and return home on April 17th for the start of the Kansas relays. Now, let's do a quick recap on some other Kansas sports. Men's basketball suffered a first-round exit in this year's NCAA tournament. They fell 79-72 to the Arkansas Razorbacks, ending their season. They'll look forward to bounce back next year. Softball had a midweek matchup against Missouri in Columbia last night, winning 3-0. They'll return to Lawrence tomorrow to take on Texas Tech in a 3-game series at Arocha Ballpark. Baseball swept a midweek 2-game series against University of St. Thomas, winning 7-6 Tuesday and 16-5 yesterday. They'll face Oklahoma State in a 3-game series at Hoagland Ballpark for some Big 12 action starting tomorrow. Men's golf tied for 5th early last week at the Johnny O at the Sea Island Resort. They look ahead to the Cowboy Classic in Arizona next Monday and Tuesday. Women's golf will be at the ASU P&G Invitational tomorrow to Sunday in Phoenix, Arizona. They'll be aiming to continue the great season they've had so far with only 3 non-first place finishes. Swim and Dive finished their 2024-2025 season with a 25th place finish at the NCAA Championships. The meet was highlighted by first-team All-American diver Sin-Yu Lei, who earned the highest placement by a Jayhawk in the NCAA tournament since 1996. Tennis fell 2-4 against number 23 Baylor this weekend. They'll travel to Salt Lake City, Utah today to take on Utah. Stay tuned for all the results and more next week. The Kansas community is mourning the voice of a legendary voice. Longtime broadcaster Bob Davis passed away at the age of 80 last week. Davis was the voice of the Jayhawks for over 3 decades, calling some of the most iconic moments in Kansas sports history. His dedication and passionate play-by-play became the soundtrack for KU basketball and football, earning him a place in the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame.
Point basket. 10.8. Here they come. Collins. 7 seconds to go in the game. Collins got pushed. Ball's down. Chalmers shoots. Oh! 3. The game tied. 2.1. Memphis inbounding. A half-court shot. Unbelievable shot. Overtime.
Davis retired in 2016, but his legacy lives on through the countless KU memories he helped create. Our thoughts are with his family during this time. After the break, here's some free ways to learn life-saving moves.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Following up on the Royals' home opener tonight, Sam is back to tell us what the forecast will look like for the first pitch. Sam, what can we expect out on the stadium?
Well, thank you, Caleb. The good news is, odds are, it'll be a perfect afternoon for the Royals home opener. There is that small chance of showers, but I do think that it'll be a great night to be out at the K, with the first pitch temperature at 78 degrees, warming up to 80 by the 9th inning. But those winds will be fairly strong out of the south with some gusts up to 25 miles an hour, so those balls hit to left field may carry quite well for this game this afternoon. Looking at KU baseball, the game tomorrow night will be 75 degrees with some south winds. The gusts will be a factor as well, making it a pitcher's ballpark yet again. On Saturday, small chance of storms with the winds also being strong. Sunday, really similar story, but the temperature will be down to around 51 degrees for first pitch for the third game of that series. Taking a look at some other KU sports forecasts, my only real concerns is for track and field Battle of the Bayou Friday and Saturday down in Baton Rouge. Looks to be rain and storms both days for that event, as well as women's tennis at BYU on Saturday. Looks to be chilly and wet for that event, but everything else on here looks quite good. Back to you.
Thanks, Sam. Looking like it will be a perfect night for a good ball game. Knowing how to defend yourself can be a game changer, especially for women in college. That's why Lawrence Police Department is offering a free self-defense class. KUJH's Grace Johnson sat in on a session to see how helping women can build confidence in learning life-saving skills.
In a room of strong stances and focused expressions, women are learning how to fight back. This is RAD, the Rape Aggression Defense Class, a free program taught by the Lawrence Police Department to help women learn practical self-defense skills.
It's a class that we offer to women in our community to teach them, just options of how they can be safe in the event that an attack happens. People might not have the opportunity to do it if it wasn't a free class, and we want to reach as many women in the community as possible.
The class, which is modeled for students of all skill levels, breaks down techniques step by step, helping participants build confidence through repetition in realistic scenarios.
I'm very privileged in the sense that I haven't been in a situation where I needed self-defense so far.
but it could always happen. I'm very aware that statistically very likely 4 out of 5 Native American women will experience violence at some point.
Officer Salisbury says the goal isn't just to teach physical defense. It's about empowerment.
I can't think of a single participant that we've had that has walked away stating that they didn't feel more confident. And that's just attesting to the great instructors that we work with and the success of the program in general.
By the end of the course, participants say they're leaving with a new sense of control over their own safety.
I do feel more confident to even just walk on my own, even if I'm not going to a party or a bar. Everyday life feels a lot more comfortable now.
The class is open to women college age and older. For KUJH, I'm Grace Johnson.
Grace, thank you. And of course, it's so good to see a resource like this offered in Lawrence. Now, if you're interested in signing up, you can scan the QR code on the screen now to sign up for the next class.
Just like protecting your physical self, showing self-care is important for your mental health. And why not lift your spirits by petting a bunch of puppies? Yesterday, KUJH's Jenna Zaire went to Crawford Community Center, where students got to relax with some four-legged friends at KU's Paws for Pups.
Sometimes life can get overwhelming, whether it's the stress of classes, mental health struggles, or even daily activities getting in the way. Sometimes the best remedy is to take a pause.
Hosted by the University of Kansas Health Education Resource Office at Crawford Community Center, Paws for Pups is a program designed to help students manage their stress, anxiety, and feelings of being overwhelmed. The 4 therapy dogs, Maple, Gus, Libby, and Mabel, all come from the Loving Paws Animal Therapy Group. These 4 loving pups help give students a chance to take a break from classes, tests, studying, and more.
And time to relax between classes, and it also, if they have pets at home, it kind of reminds them of that.
But the impact of these therapy dogs goes beyond KU's campus. Organizations like Loving Paws Animal Therapy bring comfort and companionship to people of all ages, visiting hospitals, schools, and nursing homes. Whether it's helping young children with anxiety or bringing joy to adults in need, these dogs are making a difference in countless lives.
Definitely can help, especially if they're experiencing a little homesickness, perhaps, for their own animal, or just need a distraction from that exam that's coming or that paper that's not going as smoothly as they would like.
Paws for Pups is a great way to take a few minutes, breathe, and regroup, and leave feeling a little lighter. If you're looking for a quick study break that is stress-free, you can check out the next session at calendar.ku.edu.
For KUJH, I'm Jenna Zaire.
Jenna, thank you. And of course, it's amazing to see the impact a little time with a 4-legged friend can have.
Yeah, Jonah, such a simple act can ease homesickness, reduce anxiety, and simply just provoke a moment of joy for students. Well, that's all we have for you this morning. Check out KUJH on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram for exclusive content and to keep up to date on the latest stories at KUJHNews.com. I'm Caleb Beasley.
And I'm Jonah Kahn. KUJH News will be back next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Have a good day.